Welcome to the stream. Hopefully we're in for a good race for another team Taurus tonight. So should be starting in around 7 minutes time, start of qualifying for the first race. I believe we need the umbrellas tonight because I believe we have a wet feature race after the first shorter sprint race at the start. So might see a little bit of carnage in that one, people struggling in the rain in Japan. But Suzuka and rain is not that shocking, so I believe we've done Suzuka in the rain a few times in different leagues, so people should be up for it. Hey King Gears, mate. Yeah, when you go in the pits, wait for the guy to put the fuel in first before you drive off. Yeah, you can normally fuel save a bit easier in the rain without losing time, so I'm sure you'll be alright tonight. Hopefully we don't get any starting glitches. That's what I was blaming it on. Everybody thinking the lap would be, the race would be 1 lap shorter due to that starting glitch. Hey Matty, nice to see you, mate. So Kingy has a cunning plan for race 2. So we'll look out for that then, see if we can spot what he's doing. Something a bit unusual maybe. Hey Hansa, nice to see you, mate. So we're just at the small east track, so not the easiest to overtake at for the sprint race. And what teams do we have in here? Because it was a close team fight, wasn't it, last week? So we've got, yeah, the Iron Plebs that are leading, I believe, are in the other lobby tonight. So that might be good news for them getting points, but it could be good news for Yes Car Go that they could gain by taking top points tonight if they can. But third place now, lost in pace, is very, very close as well to that lead in a team championship. That's Oscar, Harlock and Vines, and I believe by the looks of it, they are in this lobby tonight. Oh, so we've not got Vines, Raf or Nicky tonight. So is someone covering for Vines, is he? For Lost in Pace? Because, as I said, they're very close to that lead battle in the teams as well. So be a shame if they have to miss out on points for one driver. And then Raf and Nicky were in the same team, weren't they, with who Nicky stepped in to cover for their team, didn't he? So, little Nicky, so... Yeah, that is a shame then, that King Ears. Hey, Gov. Yeah, hopefully, it's a shame they can't get someone, because like I said, third place for 635 points, and first place is 667, so that's a very close battle in the teams there. And even then, the next two down and not that far behind either, so it is a close battle up there. And then it looks like Harlock's starting to run away a little bit with the individuals, so we'll see if anyone can slow him down tonight. I presume he will be the man to beat. So Shinto's doing it. Was that not the team that Little Nicky went into King Ears? Or did he replace Nicky? Oh no, Shinto's in a different team, so he's soloing it as well. So unfortunately, might be a few teams struggling for points this week then. Why doesn't, if Ray's there, King Ears, why doesn't Little Nicky, instead of being in that team that's on his own that doesn't exist anymore, why doesn't he jump in to go with reserve for Lost in Pace for Vines? Yeah, well, if Josh did the race, his internet would give up halfway through anyway, wouldn't it? Yeah, see if Nicky will jump in for Christian instead of being in that team that's in last place that he's only stepped in to reserve in anyway, if they've not got anybody else in the team. Make the fight at the top fairer. Unfair for one of the top teams to be missing out on points. Nice one, King Ears. Because you know, I know that might disadvantage you being in second place, but you know, you want a nice fair fight between all the. You want to win by being the better team, not because teams were missing points due to missing drivers. And then I said, we'll see tonight if anyone can slow Harlock's run down at the top of the order. But obviously Harlock is extremely fast, so it's not a surprise that he's leading the way individually. but it's very tight from third place down in the individuals. Kingy currently third with 271. And then in 7th is Daring with 253. So that's not a particularly big gap from 3rd all the way down to 7th there. So Kingy's just checking now, see if Nicky, because Nicky's team must have been in the other lobby, just asking if they will switch over. Let's see if I can get the lobby thing. Here it is. So we have SpongeBob Squidpants, who are currently in 4th. That's Payan, Ant and Gov. Department of Homeland Security. That is Hooligan, Sonic and Daring. Then we have Rocky Horror, who unfortunately will just be Shinto on his own tonight. So a shame for him, but hopefully he can upset some of the other teams with good results. Then we have Lost in Pace, which is obviously, like I said, the team currently in 3rd. So Oscar, Harlock and Vine. So possibly Little Nicky if he comes in. And then we have Kingy's team, which is Yes Car Go, Ant Smash. Sorry, no, Stee in it. So it's Stee, Kingy, and Russell, which is Shelty in it. So said there could be a good battle between 2nd and 3rd, and even 4th place in the standings in this lobby. So we might have got lucky commentary-wise with the lobby draw. But we'll see how it goes in the actual race. But for those that are unsure, it is a 15-minute sprint race that we start with. That'll just be standard weather, won't it? I believe no rain in that yet, just cloud 06. So just standard dry weather for this first 15-minute race, and then a 50-minute endurance race for the second one, which will be in the rain tonight. So looks like Nicky is en route now then. So that team can get full points. Since Nicky was only reserving to the end of the season for the team, and they've appeared to have dropped out this week, so pointless in racing on his own for not really mattering when he can help out a team that needs a spare driver. Yeah, nice one, King Gears. So that should give us a good battle then between 2nd, 3rd and 4th team-wise in the championship. And as I said, we'll see if any of the chasers, Tonic, King, Russell, Gov, Daring can do anything about slowing Harlock's pace down at the top as well. But we should be getting underway soon once Nicky joins in. Everyone's going. We've got Clarky, and is Clarky covering for someone? I know he tends to cover a lot for different people. Yeah, he's not on the team list, so Clarky must be in as reserve. Always a good reserve to get is Clarky, being one of the faster drivers, especially in these Group 4 machines. Ah, for Deering. So Clarkey in for Deering then. So Clarkey could possibly help slow Harlock's pace down at the top of the field. Gov currently on practice, leading the way. Not sure if that's down to the car or if that is down to the driver or if it's just down to some people sandbagging. As we know, that does go on. Sandbag the qualifying. There we go. Nicky in. Roses is also coming in to cover for Josh's team, so Shinto will not be on his own now. So another last minute reserve, so nice to see. So much and also much more fun racing in a full lobby than it is a half lobby. So 14 drivers will be much better than 12. Hey, Couch Tracer, mate. Nice to see you. So here we go. Kingy asking if everyone's ready. So we shall be getting qualifying underway very shortly. So just a short version that they're going round at the moment for the first race. And reverse grid for the top 8, remember, for the second race. Let's wave to everyone in chat. So here we go, we're getting qualifying underway now then. Who's gotten out first? Probably King Gears as usual, yeah. So we'll let King Gears take us round for the first lap. Oh, wrong button. We shall change view, get on board that baguette. See how well it handles the twists of this small track. If he qualifies well though, it'll be a hard car to overtake as it's about the same width as the entire track. Yeah, Matty, we should be in for some good racing in this one. Oh, as Kingy goes full Tokyo drift mode in Suzuka. He's in Japan and he's got the drift car out already. Hey, Slipstream Racing, nice to see you, mate. So we'll drop back, see how Sonic's getting on instead. Probably a much better lap. But there should be plenty of laps got in here with it being the short track. As King Gears sets the benchmark and Sonic beats it straight away. And then Shelty beats it as well. And what about Harlock? No. So Harlock not quite getting the timing he would have wanted there then. So let's watch Harlock round, see how he does on his second attempt. You expect much closer to that top time. Harlock's normally one of the ones to beat. Hey Ray, nice to see you. Yeah, the Bugatti is large, very oversized. But if he qualifies like that, he's not going to keep people behind him. But I'm sure as qualifying goes on, Kingy will improve that lap. He probably already has. There we go, just crossing the line now, so he has improved. But still a way off. Maybe that Bugatti struggling through that twisty section as Harlock goes up to P3 now. And what about little Nicky in the Pokemon Mazda? Jumping in to cover, so part of Lost in Pace, who are currently in third place. And does it improve his time? Yes, but he doesn't jump up at all by the looks of it. Kingy's still struggling at the moment, but Shelty getting the most. I believe Shelty's in the Mazda as well. Yes, he is. So Kingy's teammate having a much better qualifying so far. But we've still got a couple of laps still to go, as we've still got a minute and a half to go in this qualifying. Shelty does not improve that gap. 1/10 to Clarkey in second place, but Clarkey doesn't improve on that lap. Let's pick a random person. Shinto also in the baguette, so we'll see how he does. Yeah, the Meta Mazda is turning. It normally struggles in the second race though, does the Mazda in these, because of tyre wear and things. So we tend to see the Mazda do good in this first sprint race, and then it tends to struggle come the 50-minute endurance race. Go, can Shinto improve his time? No longer having to race on his own, with Roses having jumped in to be a part of them, but Shinto does not improve his time. Back, what about Stee? How's Stee doing? Got a nice bit of air in that McLaren to see whether he can improve his time. He's matching it so far through two sectors, so might have cut a bit too much there though. See if he gets away with it. He's not got a penalty, so maybe it wasn't too cut, and he does improve, not by much, but it does gain him a place. Small improvements do matter. So final lap for people now. People are on the final lap. Shelty still got that 10th gap to second place, as Kingy improves his time, but only 7th still. Shelty does not improve. What about Clarkey? Is he on a lap? Yes, he's coming to the line now. And no, he doesn't improve, so Shelty. But Nicky does improve up to P3 there. So we didn't see that, because he is now on his final lap, so we didn't see that improvement. But Nicky matching up to P3. But Harlock is going to take it right at the end, but it's not enough for P1. He will have to settle for P2 behind that Mazda. But then again, that Mazda struggles off the line, so Harlock could be in a good position to take the lead into turn 1. Has everybody finished their qualifying laps now? No, Roses, I think we're still on a lap then, but it looks like everybody else is done. Yeah, looks like everyone's in the auto drive now. So that's our qualifying order set. Shelty taking pole position in this one. So we'll quickly run through the results for you there then. So on pole, the only one getting under the 51-second mark was Shelty in that Mazda. And then we've got two Hurricanes in second and third with Harlock and Clarkey. Then Gov getting up to P4. I must have missed Gov's lap, pushing Nicky down into P5 after his late lap jumped him up to P3. Then we have Sonic in 6, Kingy 7, Payan 8, 9 is Hooligan, then Shinto, 11th is Oscar, Rosie's down in 12th, just jumped in, not knowing the car, and I drove that car once, not very good, so That might be why. That'll be Rose's excuse. Well, Roses has recently gone on to wheel, hasn't he? I believe so. Maybe still getting used to it. And then we've got Stay in 13th and Ant in 14th. So hopefully in for a good race now then, as here we go. We're about to get underway. Yeah, the SpongeBob car is a great looking car. I like all that team's cars actually. With the they've got a Patrick one as well, as you can see for Payan, and then I think it's Gary the Snail, is it, that Ant Smasher's got as well. As we get away now then, Shelty, not a bad start for the Mazda compared to usual. Little Nicky dropping down a little bit off the start though, but Shelty does hold the lead off the start, even against a Lamborghini off the line, so worked out well for Shelty there. But Rosie's with a great start as we see Kingy off, but he holds it together, and Rosie's round the outside of Nicky and Kingy up into P7 already. Absolute rocket ship start from Rosie's in the Sylvia then, down from 12th all the way up to 7th. Shelty has hung on to that lead, so he'll try and pull away from the two Lambos behind then. Yes, superb start from Roses there. As we see some moves further back, everybody to the inside defensively on this first lap though. Gov hanging on with these top three guys as well, but Sonic has dropped off already. And Payan getting through past Sonic now then. Probably where we're going to see most moves into turn 1. Generally going to have to be single file through here. As Rosie's really pushing Sonic along there, looking for the move. So will Rosie's look to get up into P6 by the end of this lap? Looks like Kingy is struggling in that big beast of a machine. Nicky all over the back of him. What about Rosie then? Has he got a run? No, it doesn't look like he got that good at exit, but can Nicky get a run on Kingy now then? Looks like he will be. No, I don't think he's going to be closer. He bumps him. He chooses not to go for the send on the move. That is for pole position in the next race as well, that is. So P8 is a huge position to get over P9. Yeah, definitely not Ray, but Nicky could struggle to get by with the size of that rear end. Or maybe that's why he's staying. Maybe he likes looking at that big rear end. So back to the front now then. Shelty starting to pull a gap. So if Shelty can break away from these, they're going to struggle to catch back up to that Mazda. And Shelty does not make many mistakes, so now that he's got that gap to a second, I imagine this is Shelty's race. But Harlock and Clark is still battling away with Gov for the final podium places. And Payan trying to close in as well. Can he help his teammate Gov get by into those podium spots? Roses has now got up, so something's happened to Sonic. Yes, Sonic down into 8th now then. So Sonic has lost 2 positions on that lap. But Nicky's got caught behind, so Nicky now battling Sonic for that pole position in the next race. Let's see, can Nicky get the run out the corner? Might be easier to pass the McLaren than it would to pass the Bugatti. But I don't think he's close enough to even look for it this time round. Then let's move further back down the field now then. We've got Oscar looking to close back up to these guys to see if he can get in that battle. And Shinto trying to follow him round, but struggling a bit like Kingy is in that big machine. Oh, and we see Ant smash it off in the background. Does he hold it? Yes, he does. Well saved by Ant Smasher there. As Steve must have had an issue somewhere and has dropped back. So hopefully he can recover in the second race now then. Yeah, 20 seconds down that lap, so must have had a spin or something on that lap. So Shelty has pulled away now then. And it looks like Harlock's starting to maybe get away from Clarkey now then as well. So Harlock possibly on for that second place as we see who was that. It was Payan in the background and oh, Kingy just about avoided that as Payan did not have full control of his car. But that promotes Kingy, Sonic, Nicky, Roses all up a position. So Rosie's all the way up into P5 now then after that superb start and then taking advantage of mistakes. Kingy still now with Sonic and Nicky very close behind, and Payan now with all the work to do again, but he's gone off again, pushing too hard now that he's got them dirty tyres maybe. And is this Oscar's chance? No, Oscar goes wide. Can Oscar hold it? No, he's overcorrected, and that's Oscar gone into the wall. So Oscar with a big amount of damage now. Ant gets back as well, so not what Oscar would have wanted there. But back to the front yet, Shelty still comfortable. Yeah, the rejoin wasn't the greatest. I'll give him benefit of the doubt. I'm not sure whether he was fully back in control of the car yet at that point. But Kingy did very well to avoid that. And Payan did very well to then hold on to the car and not collect anyone else behind as well. Gov dropping off Clarkey now, and Clarkey's dropped off Harlock. So maybe the podium started to settle down, but this battle for fifth is still ongoing. Sonic's still in there, Nicky's still in there, but there's a little bit of a gap between these cars, and Payan has dropped off now, so that might be Payan's race over for this one. But we still have quite a bit of time to go in this. You never notice with such short tracks, the laps go by so quickly. Yeah, which one? Slipstream, the SpongeBob team or Nicky's Pokemon one? Because Nicky's is just because he's jumped in reserve. But obviously I do like the SpongeBob team. Clarkey's, let's have a look, where's... Oh yeah, the Irish Guinness. I presume that is probably Deering's livery then, I imagine, that Clarkey's taken there. Oh, as Clarkey runs wide, is that Gov's chance to get back in the fight for the podium? Looks like he is going to close up. Maybe we are giving people commentary curse today, because that's a few drivers run a bit wide while we've been on board with them. Well, it's definitely a Big D-esque livery, that, isn't it, Ray? It's a livery I could imagine Big D rocking. So we saw yellow flags there, but I'm not sure what they were for, as I didn't see anyone off the side of the track. Roses up into P5 and Kingy still holding on, but Sonic all over the back of Kingy now. Is he going to be close enough for a move? I don't think so. Does maybe have a little look, see if he can get in Kingy as mirrors, see if he can distract him. Oh, but look how close Nicky's getting now to the back of that. These four cars so close together. Yeah, Rosie's doing a great job up in fifth, but he's got three cars right behind him, all looking to want to make a move. And Payan looks to be trying to close that gap as well, as Nicky looks for something there through the S section. Is that going to be a bad place for Nicky to have looked for a move? Going to drop them off the back of Kingy is here. Nearly got it done, but just slowed them both down as someone is off. Who's that? It was Roses. So Roses is going to... Yes, all three of those cars passed. All that great work from Roses undone by that one mistake. He's let all three cars behind him by. So hopefully he can get back onto this train now. But he has got Payan very close behind as well. Yeah, it just did not go the way he would have wanted, and he's under pressure now as well. probably still got dirty tyres, so going to be struggling through the S's on this lap. And you can see the difference that Payan has, being right up behind him now. And then we have, oh, it's Harlock's down to 4th place. So maybe Harlock was the yellow flags that we saw out, as Clarkey up into 2nd now, and Gov up into that podium position, but all over the back of Clarkey. And Harlock down in P4. Good news for anybody going for the individual championship, as points being taken away from Harlock here. I believe Shelty still may be in the fight for the individual, so him taking the win here and dropping Harlock down will be good for him. Sonic still close to Kingy, and Nicky still all over the back of Sonic. So we could still have positions change for this top 5, I think. And what was that in the background? No, it's just a bit of dust. I saw the dust kick up. I think it was just where they cut the corner slightly. Just kicking a little bit of that mud up into the air there. So Shinto now holding on to that P10. Oscar back up into P11. Oh, but we're Ant with a penalty behind. And Steve has retired to the pits. Maybe struggling at this track. Oh, the dust was from Kingy drifting, so we know we found out where that was from. Then I thought I saw something, that's why I thought, oh, maybe an incident behind us. Shelty now has this well and truly run, but the battle for 2nd is still on between Clarkey and Gov here, with 4 minutes to go, about 5 laps remaining. And Kingy is actually closing up to Harlock now then. So could Kingy still be on for the fight for P4? And he's dragging Sonic and Nicky along with him. Rose is trying to get back into that fight, but currently holding on to pole position for race 2 as it stands though. This is good news for Yes Cargo at the moment. Could do with Kingy moving up a few places though. And Lost in Pace not doing bad either. All depends on how well Iron Plebs are doing in that other lobby, because as I said, we've got 2nd, 3rd and 4th in the teams all in this lobby taking advantage of each other. I saw the penalty there. Was that? No, it was not for one of the front guys. As Kingy is still closing that gap on Harlock actually. So Harlock may be struggling now for some reason. Maybe made that mistake and can't quite recover from it. But I think Sonic is the person to stay on board with at the moment. But we will also keep an eye on that leaderboard with Clarkey and Gov and switch back to them every now and again. But it seems to have settled down overall the race, but there's still a few little battles that could get spicy towards the end, as we're not going to have too many laps left to go now. So Sonic looking for the run. Nicky starting to drop off these two. Bugatti just has too much down the straight for Sonic to go for the move into turn 1, which is where you'd want to do it. So Sonic might have to try something a bit unusual and try and go around the outside during the S section maybe. There's no Harlock pulling away a little bit again now, so maybe too much of a reach for Kingy to get up to Harlock. But what about Clarkey and Gov now then? Yeah, they're still right one behind the other. Gov just needs one lap where he can get a really good exit out this final corner to have the run. And is it on this lap? Looks like a decent exit, but he might have started too far back. Yeah, I don't think he's going to have enough to go for the dive. No, Clarkey might. Oh, but Clarkey runs wide, does he? No, just holds onto the track. Maybe a little bit of lag there, because he has got a little wiggle as Clarkey at the moment. quickly switch back to Sonic. Nicky back all over the back of Sonic now then. Guys can't settle down, and Rose is in a clear P8 now. So another issue for Payan then. So bad news for SpongeBob SquidPants there. But they have got a member of their team up in third place, battling for second. And this is going to be the final lap. This should be the final lap. There's not going to be enough time to get round. So last chance saloon for all these guys. As hang on, Kingy is down into P7. Something's happened to Kingy as Sonic and Nicky have both got by there. So Sonic up into P5, Nicky up into P6. And Kingy dropping down into P7. So Shelty gonna come round for the win. But it does look like Clarky's closed him down a bit in these last few laps. Maybe Shelty just easing off a little bit. Understeered off the track, did he, race? We've seen quite a few people do that so far. So Shelty is going to bring it home for the win. Clarky second, Gov third. Harlock's going to hold on to that fourth place. Sonic with Nicky right behind fifth and sixth. Kingy seventh. Roses in eighth. Shinto coming home for ninth in that Bugatti as well. Payan gonna take 10th after those few mistakes. And Oscar taking home 11th. Then we have Ant Smasher 12th, Hooligan 13th, and Stee in 14th. Also, Echo in Lobby 2, getting the pole and the win for the first race. So, well done to Echo there. Same as what Shelty managed in this one. And fastest lap, so a clean sweep in the first race for Shelty here. So remember, this is second race is reverse grid for the top 8 only. So Roses will be starting the main race in pole position. Yeah, exactly. Slipstream Roses will get the pole. So, but there is rain in the second race, 50 minutes long. And I'm presuming with it being rain, we'll have no tyre restrictions. That's normally the case. Ray will probably confirm that for you in chat. But generally, when we have a wet race, there is no tyre requirements. There we go, people saying umbrella time. Let's quickly go through the results one more time then. So again, the only one... Oh no, Harlock got into under 51 as well. But Shelty taking the clean sweep, pole, win, fastest lap. Then rounding off the podium is Clarky and then Gov. Then we have Harlock P4. P5 is Sonic, followed by Nicky and Kingy is in P6 and 7. P8 is Rosie's taking pole for the reverse grid race. And then we have Shinto 9th, 10th Payan, 11th is Oscar, 12th place is Ant Smasher. Then we have Hooligan in 13th and Stee in 14th. As I said, this will be our reverse grid order. Roses, Kingiers, Nicky, Sonic, Harlock, Gov, Clarky, then Shelty. Here we go, just changing the settings now then. Yeah, definitely Slipstream. It'll we'll see who can handle the rain best. We saw a few offs just in that first race, so might be in for seeing a bit more of that now that we've got some rain coming down. Can we see the... Yes, we can. Let's have a look at that weather now then. So what's that on green? With little bits of stronger coming through. So I think that should be inters then. I don't think that'll quite be strong enough for wets, but we will see what everybody chooses to go on to. Anyone gone out onto the track yet? Yes, a few have. Try and do a quick little bit of practice. No, it does look like it's wet, just into the wet, so will people... Looks like people are going to start... Well, I'm presuming Sonic's not going to run the racing softs. And surely he has obviously noticed. Yeah, but it looks like, for the most part, everybody is choosing the wets. We'll see if anyone has a change of heart and takes the risk of putting the inters on. But it is actually raining, so the track might not actually dry up at all. So, but these guys will have practiced and know what's going on. Whereas we're in the dark. They're in the wet, we're in the dark. But looking at what everyone's gone out for on the practice laps, I'm guessing it's going to be a full wet race. But it does look right. If it wasn't raining, I think a lot of people would go for the inters and suffer for a couple of laps, because it is right on the cusp of inters. But I think with the fact that it's raining, that might be the reason that everybody is on the wet. Oh, is it a full R08, is it, Ray? Ah, yes, full R08 for race 2. So, yeah, the rain shouldn't stop. So, yeah, that explains wet tyres all around, most likely. But we never know, later on it could possibly be a slightly drying track, or someone further back might choose to take a risk if things aren't working out. But I imagine the pitting might just be for fuel, because I know the wet tyres don't tend to wear down particularly quickly when it's actually raining. No, we try not to swear on this channel. Try and keep it as family friendly as we can. Nice to see you though. Hopefully you come in and enjoy this second race. So it is a 50-minute race in the wet for the whole race. So it does look like everybody is going to... But you can see the difference on the curbs. See when they go on the curbs, how much that water meter rides up. So it's definitely definitely a risk to be going on those curbs in this weather. Yeah, it's a 50-minute race, mate. Yeah, Slipstream, I think that if we do see any errors, that'll probably be the error running too wide onto the curb and then not being able to hold on to the car. But in the practice, it does look like people are able to take the curbs. They're not fully avoiding them. But I definitely think, like Shinto's done there, if you run that wide, you're going to have to be very, very careful on power. I think the main places are probably going to be Spoon, because it's so easy to run wide there, and turn 1 as well is going to be a nightmare. I think slight mistake at turn 1 could cost a huge amount of time. Yeah, they're all Group 4 cars, different variety of Group 4 cars in this one. And I am just commentating on the race as we are about to get underway. Kingy just asking if everybody is ready. So we do have a few different cars. Obviously the favourites in this one are going to be the Bugattis and the Lambos with the rain. But then we have Shelty is in the Mazda. We have a McLaren, couple of McLarens, Ant in the Jag, Gov in the Ferrari. So we do have a little bit of variety of cars here. Hoonigan in the Supra is that. Porsche for Oscar as well. And then the Sylvia for Roses. So there is a nice bit of variety, but I imagine it's going to be the Lambos and the Bugattis. So that's going to be Clarky, Shinto, who else was in that? Kingy's in one, in it, yeah, Harlock. So they're going to be the main guys to watch out for, I think, in this one with that four-wheel drive helping them out in this rain. So here we go then. Rolling start for this one. Said it was a reverse grid for the top 8 from the first race. So that's why we've got Shelty down in 8th place there and Roses up on the pole position. Let's just move back a little bit. We'll go on board with Gov for the start. See if we can catch most of the field. So away we go now then. And everyone's starting on the straight here. Is Kingy looking for the move already? And Harlock looking for the move around the outside as well. Let's see if that works, and it does. Great move there from Harlock, using that extra grip right off the start of the race. Kingy didn't manage to get past Roses though. But Kingy and Harlock will look to run away before the other, especially Clarky, comes through in that Lambo as well. As Harlock is now past Nicky up into P3. As I said, you can already see the grip difference, and look at that for Kingy as going around the outside. You never think, oh, just holds onto it round the curve as well. Never ever do a move round there. That just shows how much extra grip those four-wheel drive cars have as Harlock goes through as well. So these two could be off for a race for the win now then. As Rose is just struggling with the back end coming out of the last Lesmos there. And then we have little Nicky holding on to fourth but going very wide at the hairpin. Sonic looking for the way through, and Clarky a bit stuck behind these guys now. And Payan as well, both in the Lambo. Sonic's got a half a second penalty. Gov's on the outside. And Gov's gone around the outside as Clarky got the inside as well. No, it's going to have to be the outside at Spoon. Let's see if that extra grip helps. No, I think he played it clever and decided to back out and got the switch back actually there. And Payan is going to make it through as well. Yes, he is, as Sonic's really struggling for grip now then. Gov's, look at that, those front two already running away. Just in that first lap, you can see the grip different that these four-wheel drive cars have compared to all the others. Yes, some great moves already. You can see the grip difference though. So Clarky will be looking to get through before Harlock and Kingy just run away as Nicky runs wide and off the track there. Can he rejoin safely? Yes, he can. But that's going to drop him all the way down the order now to 10th place. And he could have dirty tyres, so it could get worse going into turn 1 as well. Yeah, I think Pokemon didn't go that time. That was Nicky's problem there. Oh, was someone else was off? Who was that? I think it's Roses. I think it was Roses anyway. He's done well to hold on to that and get back on the track if it was Roses. I don't see anyone else off, so if you did spot that in the chat, let me know if that was Roses in the background that we saw there. But that's it must have been, because that's Payan and Clarkey up in to P3 and P4 now. So we've got just Shinto left of the four-wheel drives. And as I say that, he's going to go all the way around that outside before the Degners there. I nearly said Lesmos. Yes, it was Roses there. So again, that's the 5 four-wheel drives all to the front of the grid then. So now we can spectate the 2 separate races. Probably going to have a race between that top 5 and then everybody else in a race. So Roses will still be happy with that, because realistically the four-wheel drives were always going to get him at some point probably. So Harlock Kingy is still right with him though. 6 seconds they have now though to Payan and Clarkey. So will Payan and Clarkey work together to try and catch back up to those front 2, or will they battle it away for 3rd place? Like I said, I imagine the pit stops will just be forced by the fuel, as generally on the wet tyres you don't really get any tyre wear. Yeah, well, I'm not going to sing it though, Ray, but I have the same problem as Slipstream. It is now in my head on repeat already. So let's move back down to the non-four-wheel drive car. So we have Roses followed by Shelty. Then we have Nikki back up into 8th. So Nikki will be hoping not to make another mistake. But then we've got Oscar and Sonic very close together, working together by the looks of it at the moment. Sonic doesn't look like he wants to go for the move yet. Happy to work together to push forward, but a bit of a slide coming into turn 1. Ooh, as we saw, Rosie's getting passed by Shelty there, and little Nicky right over the back of him now. And it looks like Rosie's is maybe a little bit offline as well. So can Nicky take advantage? It looks like Nicky's going to try it round the outside of one of the S's inside now. But he's going to have that outside again. We've seen a few moves at the outside of this corner. Let's see if Nicky can pull one off. No. Settles back in behind, but Rose is really struggling with that back end now. And Nicky gets the cut back and does get that place. And now Oscar's all over the back of Rose's, but Sonic's all over the back of Oscar as well. So let's quickly move back, see how everybody else is getting on, and trying to hold on to this front pack here if he can. Looks like Hooligan has just started to drop off. Gov must have had an incident somewhere, and so must Stay. So those two must have been around to have dropped off. And Harlock is now pulling away from King Gears. So Harlock making up for not the best first race by his standards, as he pulls away and looks to take the win. But he obviously, in a race this long, mistakes can still happen in this sort of weather very easily. Oh, big slide from King Gears, but he holds it. I wondered if we were going to see him crash live on stream there, but he did hold on to that one. Advantage of these four-wheel drives, you can send them into a four-wheel drift in this weather and not go round. I doubt some of these other guys further back will be experiencing the same, as we see them all coming through the chicane then. These guys are still very close together, the non-four-wheel drives. What Kingy changed his name to Drift King? 0% no love. What for? YNF? Oh, as we see Roses off again there. But to be fair, that's twice Roses has gone off at turn 1, but that's twice he's managed to get it back on the track without really suffering too badly. So he is holding on to it, but if he keeps making that mistake, he's gonna get in trouble at some point. Test, so someone making an account. Hi Test, nice to see you. As Roses is really drifting, struggling in that Sylvia with that back end. Maybe Roses is the one that should be a drift car. As most times we see him, he's exiting the corners slightly sideways. As Sonic looks to be all over the back end now. And that is just allowing a few of these non-four-wheel drive guys to maybe pull away from the rest. But this is a big pack here, still very close together. So we will jump back to the four-wheel drives every now and again, but this is the race that we want to keep going. Thanks, Test, mate. So here we go. Oh, Rosie's looking for the... That was very opportunistic there. Nicky did not see that coming at all and got well and truly mugged off by Roses there. But is Nicky going to get the run on the straight? Looks like he's going to be alongside, so it looks like he'll get that move straight back done. But he got caught napping there, did Nicky, by Roses. Oh, is that Roses running wide again? No, he's held it. Again, that's a dangerous curb to touch in this weather, and it has lost him another position as Sonic gets around the outside at the first part of the chicane. It's a great move from Sonic there, but he has upset his angle. Let's give Roses the better drive out the corner. Oh, but there Roses really struggling with that rear end again. And unfortunately for Oscar, he got caught up behind that. And that's going to allow Hooligan, is it, to look for the double move? Will he get Roses as well? No, he's going to back in behind Roses. Can Roses get round turn 1 without going wide this time? No, he can't. Roses has done the exact same thing again. That's 3 times now that Roses has done that at turn 1. But he has held on to the position there. As Ant Smasher looking to try and get back on these guys. And Governor in the background as well, trying to do the same. Hey Alan, nice to meet you, mate. Hopefully you're enjoying the race so far. So Shelty still holding on to the non-four-wheel drive lead. As the four-wheel drive, I mean, let's look at that lap time difference. It's like, what, 8 seconds a lap? Even then, say to King Gears, yeah, 6 to 8 seconds a lap quicker in the four-wheel drive machines than these guys in the non-four-wheel drives. Yeah, the rain is actually making it. I mean, not for the four-wheel drives, but for these non-four-wheel drives, the rain is really making this a level playing field. As Sonic looking for the move there, but can't quite get the grip down. But he is going to get the inside from Nicky coming into Spoon. Is Nicky going to give it up? No, Nicky tries to stay on the outside, but that puts him on the curb, and then he has to give that up. He did well there, Nicky, to get that back on the track. It's a place where you can get dragged right off the track there. So Sonic now then the one chasing down Shelty. But Shelty, this is the first time we've seen someone from this pack start to pull a little bit of a gap. Oh, as Sonic goes off there after getting that move done. I don't know how Sonic got that back on the track without dying, because that curb is bad enough in the dry, let alone in the wet. But he did get a penalty for it. So Nicky should retake that place when that penalty is served. So again, these guys still so close together. 6 laps into this one. Roses has now dropped to the back of this group though, and Governor has come past Anne. So these two may be working together to pull each other along to join the back of this main fight for the non-4-wheel drives. Let's just go back up to those front guys now then. So Harlock now nearly 8 seconds ahead as he huge 4-wheel drift there. And what? Kingy is 4 seconds then to Payan. So Payan and Clarkey got a bit of a gap to close down to get up to King Gears, but it looks like all these guys, other than Harlock, are doing similar lap times. Looks like Harlock is pulling away quite significantly. Yeah, he definitely is, Ray, especially in this weather at the moment. He's just absolutely flying. Yeah, so Payan and Clarkey not too far behind each other, and then Shinto in the top 5 with that final 4-wheel drive car. And then back to these guys. Look at that, Sonic right back all over the back of Shelty now then. So Shelty nearly run away. Oh, but Sonic struggling. Unbelievable from Sonic there to not hit anybody, because purely I think all he was doing then was just trying to avoid contact, because he clearly messed up his braking there. The car was all over the place. He did superb to hold on to that. Yeah, you can tell the advantage slipstream that those 4-wheel drives have. They're just, I mean, you can see when they're drifting, they're under control. When these guys get into a drift, as we just saw from Sonic then, they are just hanging on for dear life, whereas those 4-wheel drive cars are drifting with control. So is Nicky going to get by Sonic now then, when he serves this penalty? It looks like he is. Sonic going to have to settle back in. So again now we've got Shelty trying to make a little bit of a gap. So another wet race next week. Oh yes, in Tokyo as well. So staying in Japan for next week's round. Yeah, this is another one. So tonight is a race that's been rescheduled due to lobby issues, and so will next week. So that'll be why we ended up with 2 wet rounds, one after the other. Oh, is that Sonic running wide there? But he holds it again. Sonic is flirting with a big accident here. That's a few times we've seen him do that. What about Roses as Governor's come by now? So Rosie's struggling to just hang on to these guys now, doing similar. No, Slipstream, every team has to drive a... so there's 3 members in each team, and every team has to drive a different drivetrain. So, you know, obviously there's the 4 different drivetrains, so you've got to have 3 different drivetrains within your team. So obviously each team's only allowed 1 4-wheel drive or 1 FF or whatever. So obviously that we won't see anybody changing cars, because I think most teams have got an FF and most teams have got a 4-wheel drive. Not all though, not all, but most do, I believe. So Gov all over the back of Oscar now then. And what's the gap from Hooligan to the front 3 of the... As Nicky has got back... No, he hasn't. Nicky's nearly by Shelty. But Shelty hanging in, going to have the inside line by the looks of it. And Sonic's going to push him through. Is Sonic going to get the inside? And Nicky's going to get mugged off. And he is. Nicky backs out of that one. Oh, no, but he is now looking around the outside again. So being very brave on that curve, Nicky. And is he going to... He is going to hold it all the way around the outside there. And look at Sonic again. Sonic really struggling to keep that McLaren rear end under control. So Shelty hanging on, but this is one hell of a battle in this non-4-wheel drivers. Sonic again off round there. Does he get away without the penalty this time? Let's see. It looks like he has. But Sonic needs to be careful because the way it's going, at some point this is going to turn into a big accident, I think, for Sonic. If he keeps taking the risk that he is so far. As Oscar looking for a move on Hooligan now then. Is he going to get it done? I don't think he's got the power down the straight. No, he's had to settle back in behind. That Porsche just does not have the power. And look at Gut. Oh, and he nearly did it, but he backed out. Look, thought Gov was going to catch Oscar napping there with the late move, but he wasn't quite close enough and just had to back out of that there. But let's see now, Gov really forcing the issue. So we think Gov must have made a mistake early on that we didn't see because he dropped off. But he's got right back into this group with all the squabbling that's been going on. So we'll see what Gov can do about working his way to the front. But even that, look, it's not that bad. Where's 55 seconds off the lead for Sonic, for Shelty, sorry. And then even down to Roses, that's the back of this main groups, only 5 seconds further back. So this is one hell of a battle we've got lined up so far for the non-four-wheel drive cars. Big moment for Ease. Yes, he has dropped down into P4 there then. So something has happened to King Gears. Big death ray saying, but no damage or anything. But he has obviously dropped behind Payan and Clarky now then. Oh, so we have another big drift there from King Gears, throwing that big Bugatti around. Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get to see that. Did he? Well, I'm presuming he can't have hit a wall or anything because he'd have had damage still by the time we jumped on him, and he's not lost a huge amount of time. But he is pitting early. He's going to come into the pits early because, like I said, I can't see anyone changing tyres here. It'll just be for fuel. So he'll come in when he knows he can put enough fuel in. King Defy is out. This is a stream where how many different names can Slipstream Racing come up with for King Gears? Oh no, he is swapping tyres. I wouldn't have thought anyone would have bothered with the swapping tyres and would have just saved the time. But obviously, what do we know? We're just commentating. But look at that. Even with the pit stop, he's still out well ahead of all them non-four-wheel drive cars. So Kingy is now in clean air. So Kingy will look to try and get the undercut on the likes of Payan and Clarky now. Then as we see Sonic now goes off and gets away with it yet again. Sonic absolutely riding his luck in this one. I lost count already of how many times Sonic has gone off the track. But if Sonic keeps doing that, there's no way he can get away with it for the whole race, as he's now got his teammate right behind him and Guff right behind them. But these guys are doing spectacular at the moment. Such close racing in this weather. I can't believe that none of them have had serious death yet out of this group. But Roses and Oscar starting to drop off. So maybe Roses and Oscar now struggling to hang with the pace of these other guys, as Ant Smasher trying to keep up with those two as well. So we could have another good battle going on here as we have yellow flags. Who's that? It's Hooligan. Hooligan, unfortunately, has gone off there. Does he get going again? Yes, but he's got bumper damage, so he has hit the wall there. I'm presuming that was running wide onto the curb. I should have grabbed the replay of that, but was not thinking. Rosie's got some damage by the looks of it. So I must have missed it when I was on board with him, so maybe Rosie's had a little moment as well, and that's why they've dropped off. But Harlock well away at the front now, as we've got yellow flags for someone. Someone off at turn 1. Who is that? It is Stee, unfortunately, struggling in the rain here now then. So let's get back to this main fight that we want to see. And is Shelty trying to make a run for it again? He's tried a couple of times, but he's never ever actually got away from this group. Yeah, no worries, Ray. I shall do that. Just obviously remind me what lap when we come to that, and I'll check it out. So Shelty now, and Gov's now got through in. So this will be interesting to see now, because Gov's caught a lot of time up to these guys. So it'll be interesting to see when he gets in the battle with them, whether he does genuinely have a lot more pace, or if it's just because of how many times the likes of Shelty and Nicky and Sonic, Sonic has pitted, so that's why Sonic has disappeared. Roses has also pitted, so these guys going for the undercut now then on Shelty and Nicky. Sonic has cramp. Yeah, well, I mean, in his arms, in his legs, the way he's been throwing that card around, I wouldn't be surprised if he's got cramp in his arm. Because he must have been counter-steering more than anybody else so far. He's been very, very sideways in that car. But yeah, Governor does look fast here in the rain. So Shelty and Nicky now under pressure. But this could be good news for Sonic with the undercut. If these guys battle, that could get Sonic past these guys. As long as his leg holds up, that is. Nicky lost a lot of time there being passed by Gov for some reason. Maybe made a slight mistake from being offline in the wet weather. Looks like Shinto might have now pitted as well. I'm not sure if Sonic streams his point of view. He'd have probably shared it if he did. No, I don't see it shared, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh yeah, if Ray knows what's going on, most likely just from the party chat. A lot of the guys will be in a party chat together. So Gov now looking for the move on Shelty. So I definitely think Gov out of the non-four-wheel drives does seem to be the one with the better pace, but obviously made, well, we don't know, we didn't see what happened to him, but either made a mistake or ended up in contact earlier on. And a big slide there from Gov as well. But he is all over the back of Shelty now then. So really putting the pressure on. But said this is good news for the guys that have already pitted if these guys are slowing each other down with this battling. As we've just gone past the halfway point of this race. So I said fuel will be the only reason to pit, because look at that, even that FF of Shelty, look at how much tyre wear there is, not really anything at all. So said it's all just about fuel. Oh, as Gov gives Shelty a slight nudge there. We're all over the back of him, needs to be very careful trying to make this move. Going around the outside now, is he? He's trying it. Trying a long way round at the hairpin. Can he get the power down? And he does. He does. The FF just struggling to get the power down out the corner there, and that lets Gov by. As we see Payan now in the four-wheel drives coming into the pits. So that's Clarkey promoted up into second place now then. Oh, but Gov's struggling to slow the car down there, and a big, big drift round Spoon. gets away with it and holds on to it. So we'll see whether Gov can be the first one to break away from this pack now. It looks like he does have the pace, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Gov go on ahead now then. And has Gov been fuel saving? Gov's fuel is way better than everybody else's. So Gov's also done this while fuel saving coming through the pack by the looks of it. So advantage Gov in the non four-wheel drive cars. Does that's nearly a quarter of a tank more fuel he's got than Shelty. When did Gov pit then, Ray? Is that why he dropped back early on? That might be why Gov dropped back early on. He might have... Yeah, that'll explain why Gov dropped back then. So a very clever move from Gov to choose to pit very early. So that's massively paid off. So that's why we didn't see what happened to Gov, was because he must have come into the pits rather than actually getting involved in anything. Yeah, lap 2. Yeah, that makes sense, Ray. That's when he disappeared from our fight that we were watching. So that explains where he disappeared to. Yeah, so that's hugely worked out for Governor then. Shelty and Nicky, bit of a gap between them now though, that Governor's worked his way through. So we'll see whether these two can get back together and get fighting again. But Shelty's done better on fuel than Nicky, as Harlock now at the front comes into the pits as well. Way less fuel. Well, again, they can get the power down better, so yeah, these guys are going to have way less fuel as Clarky comes in as well. Payan's obviously already pitted, so let's see where these guys come out in relation to Payan. Mostly Clarky. Harlock should be well ahead. Yeah, but you can see just the fact that these cars can get the power down, they're just using way more fuel than the other cars as well, the non-four-wheel drives. But again, that'll just be because they can't plant the power down like these guys can. So here, where's Clarky going to appear out the pits now as Payan's coming past, and Clarky is now exiting the pits. There he is on the right. Who's going to be ahead going into turn 1? It's going to be Payan. Clarky had the inside line coming out the pits, but Payan had the speed to get by. But these guys are very, very close now in the battle for second place. So definitely something to keep our eyes on. So moving back, yeah, Kingy way out of it now with that mistake earlier on. So down to 11 seconds back. So Kingy probably just going to try and keep it clean now and take that 4th place. Similar situation for Shinto in 5th. And it looks like Gov has got the effective win for the second race in the bag. Shelty and Nicky still yet to come into the pits. I said still a fair bit of fuel left to go though for these guys, as we have, what, 18 minutes still to go in this race. Oscar now in 9th, also not having pitted yet, but Sonic has pitted. So Sonic's the one to watch for Nicky and Shelty. Couldn't remember who it was then. Shelty, wasn't it? Hey, Yuppie, nice to see you, mate. Yeah, so Sonic will be looking that he's got that, hoping he's got that undercut on Nicky and Shelty with them fighting a little bit. And has also pitted. So has who? Yes, it looks like the only guys left to pit, because all the four-wheel drives have pitted, Gov's pitted, so it looks like we are just Shelty, Nicky and Oscar are the 3 guys left still to pit in this race. Yeah, well, you know, you can't go to Suzuka without rain, can you, Yuppie? seems to ruin a tradition. But it's all right. We red flagged the race when we had a vehicle on track to remove a car that was broken. Now, actually, it's created some great battling from the non-four-wheel drive cars, as Clarkey has got by Payan now then. So Clarkey moved his way up into P2. But Payan still close behind. But look at that from Harlock. Harlock just had pure domination in this race. Just making that gap bigger and bigger with every lap that goes by. So Payan will look to try and get Clarkey back if he can. And Clarkey will look to try and sprint away if he can. And it does look like maybe at the moment he is starting to try and stretch Payan here. Yeah, Payan just dropping off, maybe starting to struggle now. Lack of concentration. He has got a lot less fuel than Clark, so maybe having to fuel save, I don't know. We did see Kingy is running out of fuel last week. Governor now with an easy lead over the non-four-wheel drive cars. But still sliding around quite a bit, but got that car under control by the looks of it. And Nicky caught back up to Shelty now. So these two still, well, these three, because Oscar's caught these guys up now as well. So be very interesting with these three to see where they come out in comparison to Sonic, who went for the earlier pit stop. Hey Andy, mate, nice to see you. Yeah, to be fair, actually, Andy, compared to the last few weeks, the lag's not too bad, because we've had quite a bit of side to side, even in the rain, without really anything happening. So it's just a little wiggle again now. But yeah, our main battles going on are for P2, as Clarkey looks to try and break away from Payan now in the four-wheel drive race. And then in the non-four-wheel drive race, it looks like we've got Governor running away with it. But then we have a huge battle between Shelty, Nicky and Oscar. But they are also battling with Sonic, who pitted earlier. So these three still have to come in and get fuel at some point. So it'll be very interesting to see whether the undercut works for Sonic or not. So they're still staying out though. So these guys at the moment, none of them are interested in being the first to jump into the pits out of this group. But it looks like Oscar and Nicky might be forced to by the end of this lap, as they are both now in the red zone on the fuel. And what lap times is Sonic putting in? Low 35s mostly. What are these guys doing? 36s. Yeah, I think Sonic is going to have undercut these guys, I reckon. Because look at these guys are doing 36s, mid 36s mostly. Nicky, yeah, recent laps, mid 36s, a low 36, couple of 37s. Oscar, low 36s, has been catching these guys. And Sonic, low 35s. Yeah, into the low 35s now. So I think Sonic is going to jump these guys in the pits. Fuel is for wimps. Yeah. Yeah, sure, Ray. So we'll go through. We've got Harlock still leading away by 21 seconds now. Payan back ahead of Clarkey. And Clarkey with a penalty. So Payan and Clarkey swapping positions again. And Clarkey with a penalty to serve. Kingy is then still on his own in Shinto. Gov leading the non-four-wheel drives. Then we've got Shelty, Nicky, Oscar all battling away. Sonic with the earlier pit stop looking to jump those guys ahead. Then we've got Hooligan in 11th, Ant Smasher in 12th. Rosie is struggling again now, having dropped down to 13th. And then we have Stee in the pit. So yeah, we are one down. Stee looks like he's parked it in the pits. Well, Andy, Ray once messaged me saying I had a package because it had been delivered and I had no clue where it was and had to go searching to find it. Yeah, maybe that's what he's doing, slipstream, just having a little rest. Come back out in a bit. So here we go. Oscar has jumped in the pits. First of these guys, Nicky and Shelty, staying out for what? Well, Nicky for one more lap, surely. Shelty maybe a few more. And where's Sonic? Yes, Sonic's easy got past Oscar. And Oscar was right on the back of these guys. Oh, but Sonic's made a big mistake. He's held on to it, though. Sonic nearly, as we go on to Sonic, we nearly see him die at turn 1 there. But he somehow holds on to that. As it's getting very, very dark now, struggling to see these cars at all. So that was a very, very close moment for Sonic. But it does look like 4 seconds ahead of Oscar. So Sonic should have a gap to Shelty and Nicky when they come in and pit. All down to maybe how much fuel. Yeah, because it looks like Sonic way overfueled. Because look at that for Oscar. Sonic's massively overfueled for what he needed as well. So Sonic's definitely going to jump these guys by the looks of it. No worries, Slipstream Racing. Is it you, Pay? You should have jumped in then. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of this track. I tend to struggle here. It's not one of my my best, so I don't mind it, but it's just one of them. I wouldn't pick it if I had to. Yeah, so Nicky right back up on the back of Shelty. So Nicky going to come in this lap surely. And I said we imagine Sonic is going to jump both of these guys. We'll see if Shelty comes in with Nicky or if he decides to stay out for a few more laps. But I said Nicky's got to come in. Look at that fuel. Literally nothing left at all. Yeah, Nicky peels in, but Shelty stays out. So we'll go on board with Sonic now then and see how far ahead of Nicky he is when Nicky comes out the pits. So how far ahead of Nicky is Sonic going to be? Yeah, Nicky's still sat in the pit. No, Nicky is leaving the pits now. So there's Nicky on the right. Sonic's going to have the speed by the looks of it. Is he? No! That mistake then, at the start of that last lap, has hindered Sonic from getting ahead of Nicky. So that, after that great drive, that turn 1 mistake looks like it might have hindered Sonic and putting a bit too much fuel in during his pit stop. But we're going to have one heck of a battle then till the end of the race, I think. And if Oscar can get his foot down and get involved in it as well, we could have a 4-way battle with these guys. Yeah, it was a very good. I thought Sonic would have had it with the speed, a bit like we saw Clarky and Payan earlier on, but it went the other way round that time round. That Nicky with the inside line coming out the pits managed to hold on to the position. Maybe Sonic didn't, with that mistake when Oscar come out the pits, didn't want to commit to that outside line again. But it looks like Sonic's all over the back of Nicky here, so we could still see a move from Sonic on Nicky. Yeah, it is a great battle. It looks like, unfortunately, we've missed some with Payan and Clarky, but that looks like that battle's settled now, as Payan must have made an error somewhere to lose that much time. Yeah, look at that one lap of he did a 37 on lap 16 there, so clearly had an issue, and that's where the time was lost. But all the four-wheel drive seems settled, and even Gov down to 6 now seems settled, so the top 6 is done. But this is where we are interested, this battle for 7th. Let's see, does Shelty come into the pits this time round? So, no. So Shelty stays. So we're going to have one more lap to see where Nicky and Sonic is. Is Shelty hoping that these guys are going to battle away and lose time and he can come out ahead of them? That can be the only thinking there for Shelty. But Sonic's struggle here is going to be getting by that Mazda down the straight. Oh, as they both run wide. So is that enough for Shelty now? At the start of the lap that matters most for these guys in the battle with Shelty, they have both run wide at turn 1. And it's allowing Oscar to close up a little bit. So is Sonic going to be raging about those turn 1 errors? But to be fair to Sonic, I don't know how. The amount of times we've seen him go off the track slightly, and the amount of times we've seen him drifting around corners, the fact that he has not crashed yet in this race is unbelievable with just 4 minutes left to go. Maybe Shelty was trying to see if he could make the fuel last for that full race without pitting, but obviously it's not going to work. He's definitely going to have to come in. As that little flick, we missed the move as Nicky made another mistake and Sonic has drifted his way by Nicky there. So Sonic through to P8 now and Nicky down to P9. So will Sonic get past Shelty in the pit stop? How much fuel will Shelty need? How long is he going to be in the pits for? Because there's only going to be a couple of laps left when he comes out. That time's really dropping. Has Shelty... No, there's no way he can go to the end now, surely. No way. He's going to have to pit this lap. I was going to say, is he now mega saving just to get all the way to the end of the... But I can't see it. There's too long left to go, I think. Only 3 minutes. Yeah, so one lap if he's slow. So maybe that's what Shelty's trying to do now. But I just don't think... Looking at where that's flashing, that can't be much fuel left at all. But let's see, he does stay out. So that is what Shelty is doing. Shelty's started to lose time now, and that is why Shelty has decided that 20-second gap is not enough to come out ahead of Sonic and Nicky. So he is going to mega fuel save for one more lap. But where are these guys? Have they crossed the line now? Yeah, 2 minutes 37s. Yeah, they're not going to do another lap, are they? Yeah, I don't think these guys are going to do another lap. Shelty, if he was going at full pace, would get another lap, but I don't think Sonic and Nicky are going to get another lap. So that's probably why Shelty's took the big risk of staying out. No, Nicky put quite a bit of fuel in. So he's probably, like, I know when it was flashing, he did another lap when it was flashing like that earlier when it first started. So, but look at that gap come down now. So Shelty is on a mega fuel saver. He must be on fuel map 6 surely. Yeah, we've said that a few times. Slipstream Sonic held it just. Oh, and again, on the brake. A few times Sonic's back end has wiggled. Yeah, you can tell that's what I mean. He's accepted that gap behind is too big for the guys to do another lap, but so that he's not going to lose the position. But he didn't think that if he pitted, he would have held on. Maybe he should have decided that a lap earlier and he would have easy made it. But there we go. Is that fuel gone? He's gone. He has run out of fuel. No, the speed's still going up. Sorry, the speed is still going up. I thought that was the speed stop then. Yeah, speed stop now. Yeah, look at that coming down. So Shelty is now out of fuel. Where is he? Oh, he's still got a long way to go with no fuel. And these guys on the straight now, this is going to be close. They're going to pass him, aren't they? Yeah, they're going to pass him here, surely. They're going to pass him. Yeah, they're definitely passing him way too quick. The gamble has not paid off for Shelty. Kingy, his teammate, last race, ran out of fuel. Shelty this race ran out of fuel. Is Nicky by as well? Is Oscar going to get by? What about anyone else? Is anyone else going to get by him? And then we'll go to the front, guys. No, everybody else is too far back. He's going to make it to the line in 10th place. But that's 3 places he's lost by taking that gamble. As Sonic's the first to cross the line in P7. Nicky P8, Oscar P9. Shelty crawling, just about makes it to the line for P10. Hooligan is then going to be P11. But he's got the faster car behind him. So let's jump on board with Harlock. Yes, there's Harlock as Hooligan comes across the line. And then we're going to have Harlock flashing away for the win. Superb drive from Harlock, but the gap did drop down, so he did slow down later on in that race. Clarkey is going to bring it home for P2. And there we go, Clarkey crossing the line for P2, and Ant Smash are going to cross the line behind him there. Payan P3, and look at the gap to Kingy. So Payan has struggled after that mistake at the end of this race and give a lot of time up to Kingy, but low on fuel, maybe a fuel save final lap for Payan. But Kingy is very low on fuel in 4th as well. Shinto bringing it home in 5th, and the only non-4-wheel drive car to get the extra lap in is Governor. Superb drive from Governor in this one. Making a smart move of pitting early for that extra bit of fuel and getting out the traffic, and it massively paid off come the end of this race. Yeah, how the mighty fall. Tank capacity reduced. ECR. I like that one, Slipstream. That's a good one, that. Yeah, Shelty just... He needed to decide. If he decided that a lap earlier, I think he would have made it. He decided a lap too late to take the risk. I think he might have made it and held on to the position if he made the decision 1 lap earlier. But he obviously made the call late, took the huge risk, and it did not pay off. So that's 2 weeks in a row. Go on, what's their team name again? Yes Car Go. So yeah, ironically, Yes Car Go, and their car has not gone 2 weeks in a row. Kingy is last week running out of fuel and losing 1 position, maybe 2 on the line. And there we see Sonic losing 3 positions due to running out of fuel. But the only thing I think is looking at how close Nicky and Sonic were when Nicky pitted, the splash and dash would have put him right. So he might have lost 2 places anyway to those 2, because he'd have been right in the mix with them, I think, coming out the pit. So he might argue he's only lost 1 place, but he lost the chance to fight. If he'd pitted, he would have had the chance to fight. Yeah, some absolutely fantastic racing. As I said, really enjoyed that. We're obviously going to watch the replay of Ray wanted us to see something about King Gears earlier on, but we'll just run through the order and decide my driver of the day. So Harlock, pure domination in that second race, just flying away, taking the win. Then we got Clarkey with a great drive, some great battling with Payan in sections there, taking P2, and then Payan rounding off the podium in P3. Kingy is taking P4, and the final four-wheel drive is Shinto in P5. Oh. Then we've got Governor taking P6, and Governor is going to be my driver of the day. Superb decision that he made there to get that extra gain and get the extra lap in. Then we've got Sonic taking P7, Nicky P8, Oscar P9, Shelty having to settle for P10 after running out of fuel, Hooligan P11, Ant P12, Roses P13, and Stee in P14. Yeah, so let's quickly save that replay, and we shall go and check this replay out. Yeah, Slipstream Harlock's obviously got the ability to do that. He just stormed away with that one and, to be honest, made everybody else look extremely slow. But that was some great racing. That's what we like to see in that one. And especially with that weather, we didn't really see that many big incidents or anything. And we saw some very, very close racing for that whole race as well. So let's jump on this replay now and see lap 8. I've just noticed that the stream title has an E missing. We'll have to sort that out for next time round. So we're looking for lap 8 here. It's not raining in the Bimmer race, is it, Dens? They're not giving me the option to go lap by lap, so let's skip through for a little bit. Might be easy if we just get on King Gears first. So there we go, we're looking for lap 8. So here we go then, we'll see what happened to King Gears. Slide round turn 1. So there's one place that you normally die, but he didn't die there, that's where he kept going. Because that lost him the chance to battle as well, this mistake, because he could have been well in that battle with Payan and Clarkey for P2. Because these guys, without mistakes, did look very similarly paced. Could have gone there, didn't. What about the Degners? Easy place to die. But said he had no damage, so he didn't hit a wall or anything. Or when we jumped back on with him, he didn't have damage. And Ray said it to us pretty quickly. No problem around the hairpin. Is it going to be a spoon crash? Is that what it's going to be? Is he going to have spun it at spoon? Sorry, as my phone decides to ring there. Oh no, it was before he even got to spoon. Just lost the grip. Oh, and then nearly got it back on. And didn't, and Payan did well to avoid him there. Yeah, that was very close to a much, much bigger accident. Ah, there's the mistake. He cut way too much on the inside there. Oh no, but that wasn't what caused it. And then that is... Sorry, King Gears, but that is poor driving, that, by your standards. He just drifted himself, presuming just a little bit of lack of concentration. Yeah, and he just comes off the turning and puts two wheels on the grass. And you cannot afford to touch the grass in this sort of weather. And then he just could not recover it. And luckily he didn't collect Payan or Clarkey in the process. But that's what lost it for him. A big mistake there from King Gears, losing that possible battle for a podium. Just a lack of concentration, I think, there. But that is where we are going to leave it, guys. So thanks for joining in the stream. We had some great racing in that one, so glad that the chat was very active for it as well. So we shall see you in the next one. So see you all later. Goodbye.